Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the early slate for MLB on DraftKings. April 11th, Thursday, we have a 5-game early slate and then a 5-game night slate. I'm going to make 2 separate videos, and that's what I plan on doing during the MLB season when there is a pretty good early slate and a night slate. Rather than making one video with both, I'm just going to make 2 separate videos. So this video is for the early slate. Like I said, 5 games on DraftKings. Starts at 12:35. Goes from 12:35 to 1:15, so all the games are around the same time, which I really like. We should have all the lineups before lock. We'll cover this 5-game early slate just like we do all the other videos. We'll look at pitching, talk about some bats I like. We will look at stacks as well. We'll cover BVP at the end as well for those of you that are interested in BVP. Just before we do get started, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video, and if you are new to the channel, if this is your first time checking out a video on my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. This video is going to go up around probably like 8:30, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, Wednesday night. I will make my video for the main slate after I make this one, so still be doing a main slate video as well. It'll just be up shortly after this one goes up. But let's go ahead and start at pitcher and look at the top here. We have Shane Bieber as our most expensive pitcher, $9,900 on DraftKings. By the way, there's no early slate on Yahoo, so that's the only reason I'm covering just DraftKings. Yahoo doesn't do early slates. But Bieber, $9,900 on DraftKings in a matchup with the Tigers. I really like Shane Bieber here. This Tigers team is really just not a good offense. They have a low implied run total for today, just 3.8 implied run total. There are plenty of strikeouts in this Tigers lineup as well. Kind of from top to bottom, you can get Ks versus righties. This is a lineup that really is right-handed heavy. Only in the projected lineup, there's only projected to be 3 lefties in the lineup: Goodrum, Candelario, and Christian Stewart. So I really like this spot for Shane Bieber. I think he can have a lot of success. I think he is probably the safest pitcher and probably has the most upside out of all the pitchers on this early slate. So I like paying up for him quite a bit. And Sonny Gray is definitely my favorite SP2 to pair with Shane Bieber. He gets a great matchup today against the Miami Marlins, who we know just one of the worst offenses in baseball in the MLB. This team is just so bad, just not a good lineup. Really just not a lot of good hitters in this lineup either. And there are plenty of strikeouts in this Marlins lineup. They also have a very low implied run total, just 3.8 runs. Wish this game was being played in Marlins Park because that is a much more favorable park for pitchers. But even though Gray's pitching at home in Great American, which is a great hitter's park, I still think he's in a really good spot here. The Marlins run total shows just a 3.8 implied run total. Sonny Gray looked pretty bad in his debut with the Reds. Against Pittsburgh, he got lit up, only threw 2 2/3 innings. But then after that, faced Pittsburgh again and went 6 2/3 with 7 Ks, 1 run. I would expect a similar outing out of Sonny Gray here. I think 25 DraftKings points is pretty possible, if not pretty likely, against this really bad Marlins team. And although Gray feels a bit overpriced at $8,900, there's not a ton of cheap value pitchers I want to go to. Maybe you could look to Aaron Brooks at $6,900 against Baltimore just because he's facing the Orioles, but not any other pitchers I see besides him as a value pitcher. So I'm going to kind of take the safe route at pitcher today and pay up for 2 guys. Plus, DraftKings pricing with the bats lately has been actually pretty soft. A lot of these Oakland bats who we've been targeting a lot lately are still underpriced in my opinion. Robbie Grossman's $3,800, Stephen Piscotty's $3,800, Kendrys Morales is $3,600. There's definitely value in this Oakland lineup, and they have a 5.7 implied run total. So you can still easily pay up for 2 pitchers and fit in a good stack like Oakland today. But let's go ahead and talk about the bats before we get onto stacks and BVP. So the first hitter that I like is at third base. Really like Matt Chapman today. He's $4,400 on DraftKings. I think he's a really good play here against Dylan Bundy. This is a very good spot for Oakland. They're facing Bundy, who is a very homer-prone pitcher, gives up a lot of fly balls, gives up a lot of home runs, and he's pitching at home in Camden Yards, which is one of the more favorable parks for hitters. It feels like I've been stacking Oakland pretty much this whole series. I stacked him again on Tuesday night, or Wednesday night I stacked him on Tuesday night, and on this Thursday early slate I'm going to be stacking Oakland again. 5.7 implied run total, hard to get away from them. Just a lot of good bats in this lineup, a lot of hitters with power. Even guys that don't have the platoon split still have a ton of power versus righties. Chapman, Piscotty, Chris Davis, Kendrys Morales, Marcus Semien, Profar. The 2 through 7 I love. If you want to play Grossman, I don't mind him at 3,800. He's not a great power hitter, but still, he's so cheap and he's leading off. You could definitely look there. But I really like the 2 through 7, especially like the 2 through 5. That's where I'm really looking to from Oakland today. It's just such a good lineup, so much power. Bundy gives up a lot of home runs. Oakland's in a great spot again today, so I'm definitely going to be looking to load up on Oakland bats. And then going to the outfield, I got 2 plays here that I really like. So another stack that I'm looking to go to besides Oakland is Seattle. Feels like I've been stacking Seattle almost every day as well. They get another great matchup today against Jorge Lopez. Pretty garbage pitcher. It shows in the implied run total for the Mariners. They have a 5.4 implied run total today against Jorge Lopez. This Mariners team has been swinging the bats incredibly well this year. At least to start the year, they've been very hot. Jay Bruce, I think, is leading the league in home runs, which is something really nobody expected. He's shown a ton of power this year. Alex Smith, as a leadoff guy, has a little bit of power, not a ton, but if he gets on base, that guy can steal second and third pretty easily. Mitch Haniger has power. Edwin Encarnacion has power. Vogelbach has power. It's just such a good Mariners lineup. Just so much upside in this lineup, kind of from top to bottom. So Mitch Haniger at 4,400, projected bat second. I like quite a bit. If you're getting some exposure to Seattle, he would definitely be one of the first guys I would look to. Domingo Santana as well at 4,800. Right now, he's not in the projected lineup, but there's a chance since he didn't play on Wednesday that he is able to play for this early game, for this day game. I would imagine that was just like a day off. So Santana as well at 4,800 you could look to. But now I want to give you guys a value bat since we're only left with like 3,700 remaining per player. A cheap value hitter that I like. I mentioned him earlier in that Oakland stack, or in that Oakland lineup. Stephen Piscotty is only 3,800 on DraftKings, and I really like him as a value bat here. Piscotty does have some pretty good power, especially versus righties. He's shown power this year. He already has 2 home runs on the year. And like I said with Bundy, gives up a lot of home runs to both sides of the plate. Piscotty batting third. Looks like a great value play, batting right behind Matt Chapman, batting in front of Chris Davis. If you want to do that mini stack, 2, 3, 4 mini stack, I think that makes a ton of sense. Probably one of the best stacks you could look to on the slate. Love Stephen Piscotty here as well from Oakland. And if you do need another value play, like I said, you have Robbie Grossman, who should be leading off, and he's 3,800 as well. He's another cheap guy you could look to. But these are my 5 plays for the early slate. We'll talk about some stacks, and then we'll go over BVP plays real quickly before we end the video. So looking at stacks, number 1, Oakland, number 2, Mariners. Pretty straightforward. Those are the 2 teams I'm very high on today. But secondary stacks, if we want to go look for secondary stacks besides those 2 teams, I think the Mariners would be third here. And for what it's worth, I just saw this, but it's expected to be 25-mile-per-hour winds blowing out to center in that Royals game, which is really, really crazy. That's definitely going to help hitters, so I guess that's why there's such a high total in this game. 25-mile-per-hour winds blowing out to center. I think looking to the other side of this game with some Royals bats makes a ton of sense. They've got a lot of cheap bats in their lineup as well. Alex Gordon, 3,900. Jorge Soler, 3,700. Ryan O'Hearn, 3,700. Facing a pitcher in Mike Leake who really doesn't strike people out, pitches to contact, he's going to let you hit the ball. So guys like Soler and O'Hearn that maybe strike out a little bit too much, but if they put the ball in play, they can definitely hit it over the fence. So I do like a Royal stack as well if you're looking for a secondary stack to go with your Oakland or Seattle. And then you could look to the Reds as well versus Pablo Lopez. They would definitely be fourth behind the 3 teams I've talked about, but they have a 4.8 implied run total. You could look to the Reds if you do want to go to another team. Like I'm probably going to be playing like a lot of the 20 max contests, so I'm sure I'm going to have like some Oakland stacks, some Mariner stacks, some Royal stacks, and then maybe I'll throw in a few Red stacks in there as well. But I think that's probably it for stacks. Like I don't see myself going to the Dodgers or the Cardinals. Maybe Dodgers bats, but not like a full stack there. I really like both pitchers in this game. I think Spencer Turnbull against the Indians makes some sense if you want to use him as a pitcher. I don't think I'm going to be using really any hitters in this game. And then Aaron Brooks I might be using a little bit as a cheap pitcher against the Orioles, so I really won't be looking to Orioles bats. And then obviously I don't like any Marlins bats against Sonny Gray. So that's kind of where I'm looking to for stacks today. Now we'll go over some BVP plays before we end the video. Starting off, 2 guys from the Athletics have hit Dylan Bundy well. Chris Davis and Kendrys Morales. Chris Davis has gone 4 for 10 with a home run, and Kendrys Morales has gone 5 for 16 with a home run. Billy Hamilton, 8 for 20 with the home run off of Mike Leake, and then Lucas Duda, great BVP versus Mike Leake, 8 for 12 with 3 home runs, but I doubt he's in the lineup today. And then 3 Dodgers have hit Waka well. Justin Turner 4 for 11. David Freese 7 for 18, and AJ Pollock's gone 5 for 10 with a home run against Michael Waka. But that's it for BVP, guys, and I think that's it for this early slate. 5-game early slate definitely looks like a good one. There's another 5-game main slate, night slate, whatever, that I will put up a video for after this one, but wanted to cover the early slate first. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Hopefully it did help you. If you did enjoy, make sure you click that like button down below. I would really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already, and if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below, or you can hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT if you do have any questions. And now the NBA is over, the regular season's over, I will be doing, especially days where there's like a 5-game early slate, I will be making videos for early slates and main slates, getting 2 videos out for those now that there's no more NBA. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed. Really appreciate you watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.